And I remember going to that SummerSlam. And I've talked about this a little bit. I think it was the first SummerSlam I attended as an employee of the company. We did a bump episode there, and I did the kickoff show and all that. And it was at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. They sold half the stadium. Wouldn't happen these days. And there was not that other pay-per-views have been bad to go to, but man, this one felt just like a good vibe. It wasn't tense. Stephanie's walking around talking to people. Obviously Hunter's taking over creative. And a lot of people, that was Vince's show. But yeah, he did. But Hunter started to get his hands into things. And there was that feeling and just talking to people. And there was a happiness. And there was a, hey, what's going to happen tonight? This feels like a new, fresh era. People were excited. Talent was excited. There were some people like, what's this going to be? How's this going to run? Is Hunter ready for this role? And I understood that too. But there was a positivity, an optimism. There wasn't the chaos. And there's always going to be chaos at wrestling shows, but that's built in a little bit. But it didn't feel like more was coming. I talked to a lot of people that you just felt pretty good. I go out and watch the first match from the crowd, which I like to do. I like to be out there when I could. Hard cam side, not trying to make myself known or seen or anything like that. And it was Becky and Bianca. And Bianca goes over Becky, and we wipe out the year before. And obviously Bianca had defeated Becky already at WrestleMania, but let's do it again. And okay. Becky's going to turn babyface. And Bayley's music hits, and she's back. Is that Io Sky's music? Io Shirai, whatever. Dakota Kai's back too. And and I know wrestling fans felt this watching it because I was on Twitter and we all went, oh shit, Vince didn't book this. Okay, here we go. Hunter's putting his fingerprints on this thing, and here's some people that a lot of us like. People who work there, employees. I went, okay. And I love Dakota. Charlie's the best. Days after that, we had her on the bump. She's like, listen. And I knew she was a heel, but there's just a natural likability, baby faceness to her. And she's like, yeah, I got called like right before it. Like this, she got let go on the same day as Stokely, which was a huge bummer. And it bummed a lot of people out. I remember hearing the stories of Gargano and Candice kind of changing how they thought their careers were going to go. That's what I heard. When that happened, I was like, whoa, Dakota and Malcolm Stoke? What? I remember getting those phone calls going. Triple H corrected some of those mistakes. So, that happened. And, not everything could be flipped over, but you could just kind of sense everything was less chaotic. And, obviously, I think the story with Brock had happened that Friday. He left and had to be talked back into coming there and showing up there. And he did. But I had heard that story too. He's gone. I'm done. Oh, okay. And they fixed it. And they have the match, and it exceeds expectations because they did the tractor, and we got Cowboy Brock and all that stuff. And, Riddle and Rollins, there was the thing with that, and they don't have the match in the show, and it gets pushed to Extreme Rules. And I remember Seth was pissed, and I heard that story, and he called someone in talent relations, John Cone or somebody, and it's like, hey, I would have talked to Paul. And, they had to figure that out. And there's that famous scene of Seth running down the aisle and everybody, Pierce and Hurricane running behind him when they had that big pull apart. There were things on the show that felt better. And there seemed to be that sense of it. And, that continued. That continued into Clash of the Castle. And we saw Solo come up. And, Dom turned on Ray and Edge. And he's in Judgment Day. And Judgment Day starts to find their footing. And, Damage Control, beats Asuka and Alexa and Bianca. And they didn't really win again for the next 4 or 5 months against Bianca. But they won that night. And Vinci was put back with Imperium. And that got a pop. It's like, all right. Wrongs are being righted. Mistakes are being fixed. You can feel booking is going to start to make more sense. And that continued. Obviously, Drew didn't win, but there was Solo. And, Roman and Paul are very much in control of what they do or did then. Paul's fingerprints are all over that stuff. And there was a respect level. I do believe this, and I'm not saying he's perfect, and I'm not saying his booking is great. I think Hunter knew what people were coming out of. A dictatorship. And listen, I've heard the stories. Vince's perspective and how he acted and how he handled the company, I was told by so many people, changed when the company went public. Like he felt like he had to be in control and had to micromanage because now it's not just his money. Take that for what you will. And I think Hunter was more of, listen, let's talk to the talent. Let's talk to everybody. I have smart people that work around me. I have smart people that are working within the company. Yes, I'm taking on Vince's responsibilities, but not all of them. We have other people to do that. I think it cleared things up for Nick Khan a little bit, honestly. And I remember like Extreme Rules and the Wyatt stuff was starting, and the White Rabbit stuff and the music. And, we got a call before a bump. Hey, we want you guys to address it. We want Camp to address it. You don't say Bray Wyatt. You just acknowledge everything that's been going on and the little hints that have been dropped. And that was a cool responsibility for me to have. And, Rob Fee was a big part of that. And everything was done, with Bray's input and with Rob's input and, obviously Triple H. And there was a lot of buzz about it. People were excited and they knew it was Bray. We all knew it was Bray, but, that was the whole thing when I did those shows is you had to kind of find that gray area. Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the Wrestling Mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody under the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did, just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette.
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMat23 on both Twitter and Instagram.